One of the most popular and common beliefs in the States, at least, is that relationships are work, that we need to work on the relationship. My personal experience has been, and I've seen it with a lot of the couples and individuals that I've been working with, when we make it about work, relationship becomes a burden. And it doesn't have to be this way. It's not about work. It's not about effort. It's not about any of this. It is about awareness. It is about being fully present with yourself and with your other when they need it. What happens is that we're becoming less and less able to be present to anything. It seems like the attention span is shortening every day. All we can take is 1 minute or less than a minute. God forbid a video on social media goes beyond 1 minute. These are limitations that are officially set. And it trains our mind to be unable to pay attention for longer than 1 minute. It trains us in being distracted all the time and not even noticing that this is what's happening. We cannot have harmonious relationships if we are not present to our partner, or if we're not present to ourselves, to our needs, to their needs. Harmonious relationships that work, are relationships in which each partner is making it their priority to help the other person balance their nervous system. And instead of that, what I see in relationships most of the time is that we kind of deliberately want to poke the other person, to challenge them in some way, to fight them in some way, to take them off balance, to disturb their nervous system. We want to shake them off so they can pay attention. This is how badly we need their presence. But this isn't the winning way. What that does is that in the end, it creates two overwhelmed people who don't have patience for each other. Not to listen, not to share, not to tell the truth, not to connect, not to hear their own heart, and much less to express what that heart wants or needs. The truth is, relationships don't need work. They need our attention. And we're giving it less and less. Or we just put them on autopilot, thinking, now I got that person, and we take them for granted. There are many people that are walking this earth underappreciated, overworked, needing attention, needing appreciation, needing acknowledgement for their efforts, for what they do for us. And also in need to acknowledge their own needs and to help their partner to fulfill their needs as well. Not to fulfill them. Your partner is not responsible for the fulfillment of your needs. But if they can participate in that, then you create a bond that can be unbreakable if it's done well. We don't have to work hard on our relationships. We just need to pay attention. You need to pay attention because you are your attention. And wherever you put your attention grows. So if you put your attention on the love for your partner, that love will grow. And if you constantly put your attention on something that's outside of your partner, the gap between the two of you will grow. And believe me, I know how painful that could be and how fast it can destroy a relationship. I've lived through a few marriages like that ended not because we didn't love each other, not because the people involved in it were not worthy of being loved or didn't know how to love, but because that gap was growing wider and wider and nobody had the guts to acknowledge it or to admit it or to address it, or God forbid, to fill it up and to make it smaller. And then one day you wake up and you feel so disconnected from the other person and so disconnected from your own love for this person and from your own desire to continue being in relationship with this person that now feels so different, so foreign, so far away, so disconnected. It's not the lack of love that does that. It's the lack of the ability and the courage to fill up that gap. And what fills up that gap? Your attention, your acknowledgement. Hey, something's off. Can we take an honest look about what needs to be done? It's so easy to blame the other and to focus on what they don't do well or what they do wrong. And then we end up with so many couples that live together in disconnect and profound loneliness. I remember actually in all my marriages, I have experienced at some point or another loneliness that was so much deeper than any time during the time I've been living alone. I was more lonely in those relationships. Why? Because by trying to please the other, by trying to work hard on how to stop being myself so I'll be liked. And by doing this, I disconnected from myself first and then disconnected from the person until one day it dawned on me. It cannot be just them because it's happening in my life. And then little by little, I brought more awareness into my life, realizing that the prerequisite for good relationship with another is to be connected to myself. You have no idea how many times I ask my clients, what do you want right now? What do you want? What do you need right now? It's so difficult for people to voice that, to even know. What do you want? I don't know. And that's why most people go into, I'm going to do what he or she wants, the partner. I'll guess what the other person wants and that's what I'll do. But by doing that, we abandon ourselves. Because the reality is you cannot guess. There's no way you can guess what another person wants. And even if you do, you're not capable to deliver that. Not from that place of, I'm going to fix them. Or I'm going to fix it for them. It's not about fixing. It's about becoming whole. And then from that place of wholeness, knowing where you end, where the other begins. And each one of the partners is in their agency. Then they can meet from a different place that creates the correct environment for lasting love. Listen, I acknowledge the importance of small talk. We need it for a very short time. But when that becomes the only way that we connect with somebody, the relationship is doomed. If the only things that we talk about is the chores around the house, or what we're gonna eat, or even like what we're gonna do this weekend, if we don't have access to how we feel, to what we think, if we cannot express that, feeling safe enough to express that and share it with our partner in a way that feels true to ourselves, the relationship will suffer. And you know what? It's not about hard work. It should be effortless. When we feel safe, it's just effortless to know, to share, to allow yourself to be seen, to be heard. So a lot of people are complaining that they're not feeling heard and seen. And it is reality for a lot of us. But I can't help it but ask, is that because the other is incapable of doing this or unwilling? Or is it because we're not allowing it to happen? Is it because we're not willing to be seen and heard in a real way? Is it because we don't feel safe enough with that particular person to be seen and heard in a truthful way? To be authentic. This word that's been thrown around so often these days that it starts to lose its meaning. And it's debatable if we ever actually had clarity about what authentic means. Relational intelligence means to be aware of the sensations in your body, to be fully present, to acknowledge and share what's going on for you, and to have the courage to share it with another human being. It means to slow down enough so you can notice these things. It means to allow yourself the time and the honesty with yourself, to admit in front of yourself that you feel so disconnected you don't even know what you feel. How often, all of you probably have had time when you have no idea what sensations are in your body. You have no idea that you're overworked, that you're hungry, that you're exhausted, and you keep on pushing forward to be productive. One of the most puzzling words that has become so dominant these days in the life of people. Productive. I have to be productive. What does that mean? We're not computers, we're not machines. It's not about being productive, it's about what is it that we create. It's about being creative and aware of what is it that we create. What is it that we create in our lives and in the lives of those that are around us? Can we be aware of all these things all the times, 24/7, for the rest of our lives? Probably not. But that's not the issue. The issue isn't how much time we spend in that. The issue is to be able to go back to it when it matters. To learn the skills that can take you back to being present to yourself and to your partner and to the relationship. And to be real and to reconnect after you have disconnected.